Archery World Cup campaign. And we'll start off with a women's team bronze medal match. This will pit the team that's seeded 4th, the United States, against the team from Ukraine, which is seeded 6th. And there they are, the ladies from Ukraine, the reigning world champions. They went to Copenhagen 3 weeks ago. They were the 16th seed in Copenhagen at the World Championships. They pulled off a big upset in the first round and then came back from 3 points down in the championship match against the Netherlands to pick up Ukraine's first outdoor world title. So let's meet the 3 ladies from the Ukraine. Victoria Diakova, Mariya and Olena Borysenko, ranging in age from 17 to 21 years of age. This past week, they reached this bronze medal match with a 9-point win in the quarterfinals over Germany, and then lost by 5 in the semis to Italy. They'll take on the United States of America, the number 4 seed after this week's qualification rounds. And the USA getting to this bronze medal match by defeating India by 12 points in the quarterfinals before falling by 15 points to the Russian Federation in the semis. But as you were telling me before we came on the air, Maya, there were a couple of missed shots, and that score might be a little bit deceiving.
Yeah, I know that they're much better archers than the score shows, because if I heard well, they just shot the last arrow very late, or Crystal Gauvin had very few seconds to shoot the last arrow and she shot in the wrong target.
So let's meet the team from the United States. On the left, that's Angela Bradley. In the center, that's Lexi Keller from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, or thereabouts. And on the right is the silver medalist from the World Championships 2 weeks ago in Copenhagen, Crystal Gauvin, who makes her home in Connecticut, born and raised in the great state of Ohio. So Gauvin, Bradley, and Keller taking on Diakova, Shkolna, and Borysenko. So we've had the introductions, and now we get set for the first arrow of stage 3 here in Wroclaw, Poland, on a very, very warm morning. Not a lot of wind to worry about, though, Maya.
No, it's just, I think that they just have to concentrate on the good shots. They don't have to think about anything else.
So stepping up to shoot first for the United States of America, this is Lexi Keller. Lexi Keller, 19 years young, ranked 95th in the world. And she starts off with a 10.
Great, a very quick shot.
That brings up Angela Bradley, who is ranked 103rd in the world.
It's very good to start well. I think it's very important, the first shot.
Good shot.
Good.
9.
Still in the gold rings. So Angela Bradley with a 9, and here's Crystal Gauvin, who made it to the gold medal match in Copenhagen at the World Championships, settled for silver.
Another 9.
And we will see Crystal Gauvin quite a bit today. She'll be making 3 appearances. This is her first of the day.
Yeah, she's shooting the bronze medal match against me, against Colombia in the mixed teams, and also the bronze medal match in the individual.
So a 9 for Ukraine to start things off. Mariya with a 9. Now here's Victoria Diakova, 21 years old, ranked 87th in the world.
Very nice.
So 2 strong shots for Ukraine to start off. And that brings up Olena Borysenko, 19 years of age.
It looks like the sun goes into her eyes. I was just at the shooting field earlier this morning, and I think that the sun really bothers them. It's interesting that she's shooting without any sunglasses or hat or anything.
So now back to the USA, and it's Lexi Keller who fires away. That's a pair of 10s for Lexi to start off this first end. Angela Bradley.
She's opening her mouth. It looks like she was speaking, right?
She wasn't very happy when she released.
I think she got a bit
Not a bad
confused.
result, though.
No, it's okay.
You got this, girl.
So now Crystal Gauvin trying to improve on the 9 that she had on her first shot.
Another 9.
So a solid end.
Yeah, it's okay. 56.
And once again, it's cumulative team scoring.
It's interesting that the best Ukrainian archer is starting and she's not shooting. Normally, at least in my team, we're trying to have the best one at the end.
Mariya Shkolna with a 9 on the line. That brings up her teammate Victoria Diakova, who picked up her first medal on the international stage in Copenhagen with that World Championship win and picks up a 10 right here. So Ukraine hoping for at least an 8 to pull into a tie with the United States after the first end.
Yeah.
And there is that 8. So it is all even after the first end. First 6 arrows have been shot. And both teams with scores of 56 to start off this women's team bronze medal match here in Wroclaw, Poland, on a warm and humid Saturday morning. Good look at the ladies from Ukraine. Borysenko on the left, Diakova in the middle, and Mariya Shkolna on the right. And you see them go to those water bottles immediately.
Yes.
You need to stay hydrated on a day like today.
Very important, yes.
Crystal
and to stay
Gauvin.
relaxed. The girls from USA and the Ukrainians also, they look really relaxed.
Now, you can tell me what goes on in those conversations.
Normally we speak about things that have nothing to do with archery, just to get away a bit, just to try to relax, because if you're too focused or you just think about that shot, maybe you just put more pressure. We all have pressure when we're there, it's normal. But at the moment you have like 1 minute just to relax, just to think about other things.
So maybe conversations about the family, your kids, your spouses,
something-
boyfriends, things like that.
Yeah.
What's going on in the world.
Or it would be great to go to the beach, just to, just to relax.
What we're having for dinner tonight.
Yeah. Or after this match, we'll just jump into the water that we
Yes.
see there.
So getting set for the second end here in the bronze medal match, and Lexi Keller to lead off once again. Lexi, young lady, 19 years of age, who manages an archery shop near Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and still lives on the family farm.
Nice tag.
Nice.
X.
Great start. She has been on fire here at the start. 3 straight 10s for Lexi Keller. Now Angela Bradley, who picked up a team silver medal in Shanghai at stage 1. Going for a bronze medal here today.
An 8.
And just outside that line. Trying to get settled in, which is not an easy thing to do.
Not at all.
Steady Crystal Gauvin with another 9. So Colombia with an opportunity to pull ahead in the match.
Ukraine.
Oh, excuse
Ukraine.
me, Ukraine. Good look at Mariya Shkolna.
Mariya shot really great the qualification round. She finished first.
She's been shooting well all summer long.
Yes.
Picked up a team gold medal at the 2014 World Indoor Championships in Nîmes a year ago, and then this summer at the Youth Championships in Yankton, South Dakota in the United States. Won an individual bronze medal, but there she fires an 8. Or excuse me, that was Victoria Diakova with the 8. And Borysenko. Comes through in the clutch for Ukraine. So we're all still tied at 83 all. And for the first time in this match, Lexi Keller strays outside that center ring. Still a solid shot. Angela
Nice.
Bradley.
Good job.
Big time shot for Angela. Bouncing back from the 8 that she had on the first shot here in the second end.
Beautiful.
And
Excellent.
another great shot.
There you go. Yeah.
So back-to-back 10s by Bradley and Gauvin. And the USA with 56 points in this end. Same total they put on the board in the first end. Школна scores a 10.
Great.
Добро. Наша правая десятка. Сделай щелчок, потому что ветер поменялся. Видишь? Ветер, смотрите, чуть-чуть
Now
поменялся.
Diakova,
Дует уже слева направо.
who jumped from 111th in the world rankings to 85th in the world after that World Championship win in team competition in Copenhagen.
Тоже правее попала. И ниже на 5 часов.
Borysenko with plenty of time.
Затянула свой выстрел от твоего хорошего выстрела.
A bit to the right.
So the U.S. will pull ahead by 1 point, 112 to 111 at the midway point in this match.
Все нормально. Нормально работает. Ветер очень коварный. Смотрите, меняется нормально.
So 2 strong arrows by the United States to give them a 1-point lead midway through this match as you get a good look at Lexi Keller from Wisconsin. And the young ladies from Ukraine trying to stay cool here in the heat in Wroclaw, Poland.
Нормально, нормально. Работайте до последнего бороться за каждый выстрел.
So the conversation's going on about everything except archery, right?
At least for my team, it's like this, and I think that the most of the teams do it like this.
Angela Bradley obviously started out with a few shots that she'd rather have back, but she seemed to have learned from those first few shots.
Yeah, it's always hard to start. It's always hard, and then at the beginning you just feel your heart. Maybe she just wasn't too concentrated, and now she feels better.
Settling
And
in.
I think she's the least experienced between all of them.
А взяли бы в хохму ихние все стрелы.
Angela averaging just over 9 points per arrow in her career as the fans seek shelter from the sun here in Poland. Heat wave here in Europe. Far cry from the conditions we saw in Scandinavia just 2 weeks
Freezing.
ago.
Yeah, it was freezing, really. I felt my bow like a piece of ice, and I felt that I wasn't able to shoot.
You don't get to train in those conditions in
No,
Colombia.
never. In Colombia,
No.
we don't even shoot indoor because all the year long we've got like 30, 32 degrees. So it was something really new for us.
Хорошо, вы отлично.
Gold,
Nice. Great shot.
strikes gold. Now Diakova.
И пошла в тягу.
Victoria Diakova.
Хорошо.
Another one.
Back-to-back 10s.
It's been a good match.
Лена на носочки сразу. Хороший
Olena
выстрел, молодец.
Borysenko makes it 3 in a row.
Молодцы, молодцы.
This is what they did in that championship match in Copenhagen. They fell
That's
behind
right.
early and came
Yes.
back.
I think that they just didn't expect anything there, and no one expected anything from them, so they didn't have that pressure. And the team from the Netherlands, they are more experienced, and they were almost expecting to win, and it was harder for them. So the girls from Ukraine, they were just relaxed, having fun. They didn't bother with the score, and they just won.
Good job,
And the
Mariya.
tip of that arrow ends up in the 9 ring.
High.
И это хорошо.
You're
So
still
the
a little bit
USA
high, so if you want to move your sight.
at best can hope to be down by 1 after this shot by Crystal Gauvin, but she's going to have to come up with an X.
Yep, there
There
it
it
is.
is.
Nice. So that's at the bottom, of, like right up.
Clutch shooting by Crystal
Маша
Gauvin.
потянула в левую сторону. Прижмися по
But
правой
now it is
десяточке.
Ukraine up by 1.
А остаться после выстрела.
Midway through this third end, 4 ends in the match, and there's
And
a
a-
critical shot right
yeah.
there by Shkolna.
Что щелкнет прицел? Посмотри на балахон. И
Victoria
пошла в тягу
Diakova.
Вика. Пошла, пошла.
Trying to
Молодец.
pick up her teammate and
That's
does
great.
just that.
This is what they needed.
Молодец, Вика.
So that balances out the 8.
It's very
Yeah,
important
она
then
носочки больше
that
вышла.
after one bad shot you get the good one, because if not, it's harder to continue.
Молодец,
And
по скорости.
Borysenko buries
7.
one in the 8 ring. Or 7 ring, excuse me.
Yeah.
And her coach obviously not pleased. So an opportunity for the U.S. to forge back in front.
Видите, подтягивает.
Beautiful.
And Lexi Keller back in the center circle.
She's shooting great.
Lexi, 19 years old,
Strong shot, girl. You got
team
this.
silver medalist in Shanghai at stage 1. Now Angela Bradley, who was on that same team that won the silver medal in China
Nice. Good job.
at stage 1. It's back-to-back 10s for the USA.
Good job, girl. All right, Crystal. Strong shot, girl.
And Crystal Gauvin trying to put her team back in front after falling behind by 1. And the USA will go back up by 2 now. Well, in front by 2. So actually it's the first time, no, the second time in this match the USA's had a lead.
And there are only 6 arrows left, right?
Девчата, последняя серия. Отдались полностью, рискануть надо. Если видите, говорю, ветер дует, вынесли, проиграли, но надо рисковать. Это последняя серия, где надо рискануть.
So the U.S. leading by 2, 168 to 166.
There's
There
one
is-
liner.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is the liner. They'll have to take a look at that and see whether that was in or out. So it could be possibly a 3-point lead.
Hey. Thanks. Give us
So
a
after
thumbs up.
3 ends, it'll be either a 3-point lead or a 2-point lead for the red, white, and blue. Match started off with both teams tied at 56 after the first end. USA led by 1 midway through the match, then fell behind by 1 midway through the third end. And it appears as though it is official now. That was a 9, and so the score is 168-166, 2-point edge for the United States. But we talked about this a moment ago, Maya. Ukraine's been in this position before. They've been behind. They've been able to come back. They're a pretty gritty group for a young group like this.
Yeah, I think that the first arrows now will be the most important. If
They'll
they
tell the
start well,
story.
yeah. If they go on like the first 3 arrows from the last end, or the last 3 arrows that were quite bad, just to shoot the 7. Maybe if they forget about it and they just go on, then they can do it.
Сделать сейчас, Маша, можно сделать.
And it can change from one arrow to the next.
Yeah, there are still 6 arrows, 2 points. It can be changed.
Надо рискануть.
So Shkolna, Diakova, and Borysenko trying to pull off another comeback, much as they did in Copenhagen. The U.S. trying to hold them off and pick up the bronze medal and get the day started well for the United States. A lot of opportunities for the USA, Italy, to take home some hardware from Wroclaw, Poland. Lining up that
Оставь
pin.
левую после выстрела. 9.
9.
Сколько ты сделала щелчков?
A good shot, a solid shot.
Я не верю.
Not as good a shot as they had hoped for.
They really need a 10.
Бздуны не
Can
поощряют.
Diakova deliver?
Тяга пошла. Молодец.
Yes?
Yes, she does.
Надо рисковать.
Victoria
Рисковать, идти
Diakova.
смело на выстрел. Лена на носки
looking
вышла
for her
больше.
11th career victory.
Уперлась,
here
обработала
today.
выстрел.
And the 19-year-old
Добрый.
Borysenko in the 9
9.
ring.
Okay.
Не успеешь еще прицелиться.
Pair of
не
nines and a
так вот, это
10.
не расшатывает.
And the USA in the driver's seat right now, but that could change.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Not likely to after a shot like that. Lexi Keller's been outstanding.
Yes, she's been shooting really, really well.
Angela Bradley,
Nice.
another
10.
outstanding shot for the team silver medalist from the 2015 Arizona Cup. Crystal Gauvin trying to keep it going and build on that lead. 9, so the U.S.
4 points. Quite a lot for only 3 arrows.
doubles the lead. USA was up by 2 heading into the 4th end, now up by 4 with just 3 arrows to shoot. What could be the final shot for Mariya is a 10.
Вика в своем темпе.
Back to Diakova, who found the center of that target on her last shot. Lines it up.
Не додержала левую.
A bit low.
A little bit lower that time.
Левая упала Вика.
Strong finish.
На носочки.
Olena
Обработай
Borysenko.
выстрел. Нормальный выстрел.
An 8.
Вау.
So that one leaks out into the 8 ring. And Ukraine is at the mercy of the Americans right now.
They only need 24. Yeah, 24 to win.
Lexi Keller,
Nice.
stay strong.
Right
Another
target.
shot from the young lady from Wisconsin.
Strong shot.
Now Angela Bradley, who's gotten better as the match has gone on. A little bit
Nice.
high that time, though.
But it's enough.
That's okay. We're good.
They only need a 7.
USA had a cushion,
Bring it home, Crystal.
and Crystal Gauvin trying to bring it home right here and clinch it with this shot, and she
It's a
does.
9. Yeah.
There's the 9, and the USA will win by 3 in workmanlike fashion, 224 to 221.
Nice job, baby.
You know, it's just another classic example, Maya, of how one shot here, another shot there. It doesn't take very much, and all of a sudden, Ukraine finds itself trying to climb out of a hole, and they couldn't come all the way back.
No, there were some bad shots, and the US just didn't let anything. They just kept on shooting 9s, 10s. They shot maybe 1 or 2 8s. There were maybe 2 8s. They didn't make mistakes.
As we look back at the score sheet, the United States
Only
had an
2
8
8s.
in the 4th end, and then
And
an
the
8
second
on
one.
the second shot
Yeah.
on the second end. And that was it. Otherwise, it was 9s and 10s.
Of course, and they shot 3 8s and a 7. And the difference is 3 points.
But this Ukrainian team, you look at them and you think if they stay together, they could be a formidable force for the next
Yeah,
few,
I think so.
foreseeable future.
Yeah, I really think so because